Good afternoon. I'm Lauren Coleman here with Stacy Spivey on this Memorial Day.
Welcome to all of you watching the 4 to 5 right here on WFMY News 2. We're also on Fire Stick, Roku, and the News 2 app for your TV, phone, or tablet. And we are also on Facebook, so go ahead and hop on that live stream and chat with us.
Of course, we want to start by saying thank you to those we are remembering today, the ones who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom.
The King community is rallying around an officer shot in the line of duty. It happened early Sunday morning during what the chief says was a traffic stop. At some point, a suspect got out of the car with a gun and fired at officers who then returned fire. During the exchange, the suspect was killed and the King police officer shot in the head. He was taken to the hospital where he's had surgery and we're told is doing well.
He's just an all-around good officer. Far as community relations, a people person, officer person, you don't get no better than.
The chief says right now they are not releasing the name of the officer out of respect of the family. They are also waiting to officially identify the suspect killed. King officers do wear body cameras. That footage was turned over to the SBI as a part of the investigation into any officer-involved shooting. Of course, this is still a developing story, and we'll continue to bring you updates on air and online at WFMYnews2.com.
Turning now to Uvalde, Texas, where a community is still in mourning. The memorials for the 21 victims, 19 kids and 2 teachers. It just keeps growing. CBS's Lilia Luciano reports from Texas.
6 days have passed since a gunman killed 19 students and 2 teachers at Uvalde's Robb Elementary School. As the victims are laid to rest, some members of the community are questioning why more wasn't done to save them.
One little girl was shot through the kidney with 1 bullet wound. She might have lived. Had she not waited and bled out, she might have lived.
Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez told CBS News the young girl's family has a right to know what happened to her.
They said they don't want their daughter's death to be in vain.
At a Memorial Day event in Longview, Texas, Governor Greg Abbott asked the crowd to remember the school shooting victims as well.
What happened in Uvalde was a horrific act of evil. And as Texans, we must come together and lift up Uvalde and support them in every way that we possibly can.
Governor Abbott has said he was misled about what law enforcement's initial response was and has ordered an investigation.
Be assured, we will not relent until Uvalde recovers.
The Department of Justice is conducting its own review of the police response. President Biden visited Uvalde on Sunday and today expressed hope Congress will take action to prevent future mass shootings. Lilia Luciano, CBS News, Uvalde, Texas.
For its review, the Justice Department said the goal is to learn from what happened and stressed that it is not a criminal investigation. Back here in the Triad, a church in Eden is paying tribute to the victims killed at Robb Elementary School. Take a look at the display that now sits outside the Leakesville United Methodist Church. There are 21 empty chairs sitting on the lawn. They represent the 19 children and 2 teachers killed last week.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Part of US 29 is still closed after a crash shut it down this morning. You can see just how badly those cars were damaged. It happened in the northbound lanes at the Gate City Boulevard just after 7 this morning. Right now, police confirm there were injuries with this crash, but haven't released any more specifics. We'll keep you updated if we learn anything more about the crash or when the road could reopen. With a lot of people driving home tonight after the Memorial Day weekend, North Carolina law enforcement wants everyone to make it home safely. You'll notice extra troopers on the highways this week. It's part of the state's effort to keep drunk drivers off the road. State troopers will also be looking for drivers not wearing seatbelts. The Click It or Ticket campaign runs through Sunday, June 5th. Mona Lisa's subtle smile is still there even after someone tried to smash the glass of the world's most famous painting. Museum goers say someone tried to break the painting's display before smearing cream across the glass in what was thought to be a stunt raising awareness about climate change. The man who attempted the stunt was reportedly dressed as an old lady in a wheelchair. Museum staff quickly removed him and began cleaning up the famous display. They said no permanent damage was done. And check this out. It's not every day you see tens of thousands of people flocking to see a giant horse. But that's what happened in Belgium this weekend. A town celebrated its historic parade with a nearly 16-foot horse that hasn't been seen in public in 12 years. That's pretty cool to see. The folk ritual happens every 10 years and was supposed to happen in 2020 and then again in 2021, but was canceled for COVID concerns both times. The next time the giant horse will be on display, 2030. Interesting that thousands of people want to go see this horse. I wonder what significance it holds.
I was trying to research that myself. I also was wondering, where do they store this horse? You know, if it's only coming out every 10 years or so. But I think it's just awesome to see people coming out after so many events were put on hold because of COVID.
Yeah, my first thought was of that horse. It was, I can't remember what country it was, and all the soldiers hid inside and then attacked the other country that way.
Oh, yeah. I thought about that too, because I think at the end of that video clip, it looked like somebody had flipped out from underneath the horse. And I was also wondering, how do they keep it just moving along there? So.
I don't know. Funny things. Well, let's just talk about the weather. How about that? I don't know how to transition from a giant horse to weather, Monique.
Well, it's been hot outside today, and I'm standing here in the weather garden, and the sun is ablazing. There's very few cumulus clouds out here, but the ones that are out here aren't covering the sun right now. And as we move through this evening, those clouds are going to start to fizzle their way out, and we'll have some clear skies. The current temperatures are plain old hot. 86 currently in Greensboro, 89 down in High Point, 86 as well in Asheboro. Now tonight, those temperatures, like I said, will fall and those skies will clear. We're talking 60s for this evening. And then as we look to the foothills, just about the same weather. We're seeing the 60s, but the skies will be clear. And that's good news for folks that are interested in seeing the Tau Hercules meteor shower. And some folks are calling it a meteor storm. Now, NASA does report that there's a possibility this could be a bust, or it could be the most amazing meteor shower you've ever seen. So here are some of the details related to that meteor shower. It's going to peak between midnight and 1 a.m. this evening. And as I said, it's possibly called a meteor storm because we're talking 1,000 possible meteors going to be shooting stars crossing our skies per hour. 1,000 shooting stars. So definitely, certainly, if it does occur, a spectacular view. And with that moon on a new moon, we're going to have not much moonlight to interfere with the light that you'll be seeing from these shooting stars. So temperatures for tomorrow in the upper 80s. Oh, it's going to be hot. Some folks will even able to get to see a 90-degree, I do expect. And as we move through this week, these temperatures are just going to get hotter and hotter. Wednesday, some folks getting around the mid-90s. So we're talking some very warm temperatures. Here's a look at that full 7 days. So storm chance is possible Thursday and Friday. And as we go to the weekend, it dries out and cools down.
Nearly a week later, the news of a deadly mass shooting at a Texas elementary school, it's still hard to hear.
We've seen the strength of the community even during times of unbearable sadness. In today's U-Day message, Coach Lamont shares how faith can help all of us during hard times.
My heart, like yours, is broken at the images of the events that have taken place the past few weeks in Buffalo and Texas. Lives shortened by the hands of selfish gunmen under the possession of evil who decided to use humans as targets because of their own rage. Though we are left with more questions than answers, the one thing I know is we are required to stand strong for the lost and pray fervently for the living. We must also pray for the strength of God's hand upon our nation. If we can't place a demand on our politicians, let's place a demand on heaven that there will be a response to our cry. I still have faith, so don't lose yours. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best U-Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Memorial Day is a day and a time to remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, but it's often a time when family and friends travel and get together.
Yeah, as inflation continues to drive up prices, does this mean you'll spend more on a Memorial Day gathering? Let's verify.
So let's verify. How much have the prices gone up? Our sources are the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Jonathan Church, an economist for the agency, and AAA. And let's start with my favorite, food. How much could that cookout cost you? Well, according to BLS, food prices are up 9.4% on their consumer price index. That's from April 2021 to April 2022, with an especially big jump for meat, poultry, fish, and eggs, jumping by 14.3% in a year. And according to the Bureau, the average price for a pound of beef as of April was $4.95, up from $4.29 in April of last year.
It really hits home on the kitchen table with grocery store prices.
The good news is that we're not seeing quite as big of an increase for alcohol prices, up just 3.9% in a year, according to that consumer price index. Then there are travel costs. Church says that according to the index, airfare has spiked by, listen to this, 33.3% from April 2021 to April 2022. And you're not getting relief at the pump either. This time last year, on May 24th, 2021, AAA released this press release, lamenting the highest gas prices since 2014. The national average was $3.03 per gallon back then. Now it's $4.60 per gallon, a record high, according to AAA.
The big picture is pretty much what everybody already knows, is that we're seeing double-digit inflation in categories that really hit people's wallets.
So we can verify that you'll be paying up a lot more this holiday weekend than last year. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff.
Thanks. Just seeing how high that meat went up, it almost makes you want to consider having like a vegan Memorial Day cookout.
Right? I mean, we definitely noticed this last trip to the grocery store how much more it was than in previous times, but last week, Lauren, for the first time ever, it cost me over $70 to fill up my tank.
Wow. That's just too much.
That's a lot of money for gas.
It is. And it makes you think about, you know, do you want to travel to a Memorial Day celebration or do you want to host the Memorial Day celebration? You're going to be feeling that money somewhere. I kind of think, you know, it's just what it is right now. And we just have to kind of nitpick and pick and choose how we want to spend our money, because I feel like we just can't hide from the inflation. We're seeing it literally everywhere.
Yeah, and every business, every industry, every organization, everyone's feeling this impact. And I actually have a story about that coming up in the next half hour of the show, but it's difficult.
It's hard out here. It's a struggle.
It is. The one reason why I'm thankful for being at work today and not at a party or something like that, didn't have to spend extra money.
Tell us how you're hurting from the inflation on our Facebook page. We'll chat with you there. On a day like today, many folks are trying to stay cool while enjoying Memorial Day activities. Check out the scene at pools in the Triad today. With the summer season right around the corner, I asked you on my Facebook page, how do you plan to stay cool in the summer heat? Terry Kennedy says, just gonna have to sweat my way through it. Arnold Crow says, in the pool, under the patio umbrella, or in the house. Wanda Cummings says, stay inside. Karab Kobe wrote, watch TV and eat ice cream. Terrence Scott wrote, I'm in a committed, very long-term relationship with the air conditioner. Well, speaking of air conditioning, making sure your HVAC system is up to date can help to lower your energy bills and extend the life of your unit. Pete Georges is the owner and operator of Avanta Clean of the Piedmont in Greensboro. He says homeowners should have their HVAC system inspected by a professional at least twice a year.
It could be full of debris, leaves, pollen, all that that we experience in the fall and in the spring. In order for your equipment to run efficiently and effectively, it has to be clean and free of any debris or any dirt that could impact the airflow or the velocity of airflow across those coils.
Georgia says failure to schedule routine HVAC cleanings could lead to costly repairs and higher utility bills.
It's going to take a lot longer to cool the air. Your thermostat's going to continue to call for more air as it's not able to cool it fast enough, and it causes your energy bill to increase as well. Your usage is going to increase. It takes a lot longer for that air to cool. Not to mention, the longer your equipment runs, the more wear and tear that those moving parts will get.
Georges offers some ways you can keep your AC unit running longer. Change the air filter regularly, aim for every 30 to 90 days. Keep your drain pan and drain line clean, and routine air duct cleaning. With ongoing supply chain issues impacting HVAC equipment shortages, Georges says getting your unit inspected regularly can help you get ahead of wait times for those parts. So you definitely don't want to have an air conditioner that doesn't work, especially with these summer months right around the corner.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no,
Susan.
you can go ahead, Monique.
I remember when I first lived in Wilmington and my AC in my car stopped working.
Oh, no.
First of all, it was so expensive to fix it, but I was dying every day going to work with the heat and the humidity. I was sticking to my car.
I bet your hair was feeling it too, because I had a friend who had a broken AC unit, and I was like, bruh, you need to get this fixed. This is just unbearable. But it's definitely just not comfortable if you have an AC unit that's not working.
Yeah, so my brother actually called me this morning, and his AC unit is out. And he's in Arkansas, and it's like probably in the 90s, and you know the humidity is awful. So he is not a happy camper today. What's supposed to be, you know, a holiday and time off, he's spending at my parents' house because they have AC.
Well, I'm curious, is it better to keep it at one temperature, or does it matter? Like if I keep it at 68, or if I go during the day and keep it at 70 and then drop it when I go, like is there a price difference? Do you know, Lauren?
I think you will start to see that in the price, because it might have to work harder to keep having to go up so high. So I think it's good to just keep it at like one. I think you should keep it at the most comfortable temperature that you feel comfortable with, if that makes sense, and keep it there, rather than, you know, you have it at 65, then you move it up to 75 when you leave. Your machine is going to have to work harder, and that requires a lot
what do
more
you think is comfortable right now?
For me, because I like to keep it cold. I was going to ask you guys what's comfortable for you. I like to keep my house on 68.
Yeah.
I don't like to feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
So, I mean, if I see a little bit of extra charge in my bill, I'm willing to just like take the bullet, because I don't like to sweat.
Yeah.
I don't like
no.
Oh,
wow.
Stacey,
Monique?
no, I'm right with Lauren. I hear
What?
Stacey saying no.
Yeah, what is yours, on 80 or something?
What Stacey will say.
We keep ours like 70 to 72.
Ooh.
We're both
72?
like very, yeah, we're
I
both
would
very
probably be like
cold-natured
going like
people.
this, like, isn't it a bit hot in here, guys?
You can ask our executive producer, who's very hot nature and likes to keep her AC very cool like you guys. She probably thinks our house is a little hot.
Well, I always tell people I have blankets when they come over.
Oh my gosh.
I usually keep mine pretty chilly.
Well, today I'm sure most people have their AC down in the 60s.
Yeah, I mean, I hope everyone's AC works this week as temperatures continue to soar. I just want to quickly take a look back at the month of May, where we've been kind of fluctuating between warm days and cool days. We've had about 15 days above average. Now you can see that today on the 30th isn't included because I haven't gotten the latest numbers yet, but this will be above average. I mean, we're currently sitting at 86, so that is well above where we should be for this time of year. But we had this quick stretch of very warm days just about 2 weeks ago, and I'm expecting that to be the same this week. Here's all that you need to know as we move through this week. So summertime heat is sticking around through Thursday. So it's only Monday, guys. We got to bring it on through Thursday. That heat sticking with us, but then we get the possibility of showers and storms Thursday and Friday. And then we're back to dry weather and near normal temperatures by Sunday. So kind of Saturday, Sunday, things start to quiet out and cool down. So this is how we're looking over the next couple of days. 90, 90, 90. That's in the forecast. So if you haven't said it was hot today, you may say it tomorrow, but I think everyone will agree that Wednesday will be a hot day. And this is above where we should be for this time of year, that normal temperature being 81. So we're going to be roughly 10 degrees warmer than that by the midweek. So the UV index, this is kind of just speaking to that sunlight that is out there, that those sun rays are strong. So we're going to be feeling that this week. Make sure to be wearing sunscreen all the way through the entirety of the week. Whether we have clouds or not, they do not block the sun rays entirely. So you want to make sure you protect your skin. Also a reminder to stay hydrated as we move through this week. Now, rain chances, I mentioned them earlier, but the big question is, when will they come, and are we talking severe weather threats with them? I'll be able to answer all those details and more, including your 7-day Bringing It Back, coming up.
Did you head to the movies this weekend? If you did, chances are you saw Top Gun Maverick, the highly anticipated sequel to the cult classic from the 80s.
The movie is breaking box office records with more than $100 million in its opening weekend. It's also the biggest opening weekend debut in Tom Cruise's career.
The Top Gun, of course. What else will we go to?
We watched Top Gun, the original, every day this week leading up to this.
We literally planned this out Top Gun week.
Wow, every day. Well, here's a closer look at the numbers. Top Gun brought in $124 million by Sunday night from moviegoers here in the U.S. and it's expected to hit around $150 million once today's sales are added in.
It's close to breaking the record for Memorial Day weekend openings. That record currently held by Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. It earned $153 million during the long weekend back in 2007. On Friday, WFMY News 2's critic Manning Franks shared his review. He said the movie was News 2 approved and even better than the original.
And if you still need some convincing here, you can check out Manning's review on WFMY News 2 on our YouTube page. He has it all there. So I wasn't quite convinced yet because I hadn't seen the original, but everybody's been talking about it. One of our producers, Tom, came in saying he saw it this past weekend and he was like, you got to go see it. And he said you can watch it on Netflix, the original one, but you have to watch it by tonight.
Yeah, because it's about to come off or go off Netflix. Everyone that went to see this weekend said it was phenomenal. I can't believe Manning said that it was better than the original. That hardly ever happens.
It's hard for something like that to happen.
Right.
I think because there was so much time in between the first one and the second one, you could have that anticipation and, like, you know, something to look forward to. But usually when sequels come out back to back,
it's really quick.
They're not as great.
Right.
So that might have something to do with it.
Yeah. Well, I did go to the movies this weekend. I didn't see Top Gun, though. Don't hate me for it. I went to go see Downton Abbey, the new movie.
Okay.
I've been wanting to go see it. It came out last weekend or the weekend before last, and I was out of town, so I wasn't able to. So I promise next time I'm going to go see Top Gun.
Did you get dressed up? Did you wear your little tea hat?
No,
and
I wish.
Your nice little dress?
I looked like a bum, but I wish we still dressed like that.
All right. We'll see you after this break.
Here, I'll do my curtsy. Good afternoon, happy Monday and happy Memorial Day. I'm Stacey Spivey here with Lauren Coleman.
Hey everybody, if you're watching at home or maybe online, remember you can watch us on Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app. But we're gonna hop into our top story. This afternoon, remembering those who laid down their lives fighting for our freedom. Several Memorial Day ceremonies were held across the Triad today.
Check out just how many people attended this ceremony at the Carolina Field of Honor in Kernersville. The park hosts ceremonies every year on both Memorial and Veterans Day. Some tributes were smaller in scale.
That's the sound of Guilford County Boy Scouts Troop 600B playing taps. They did so at 3 this afternoon, joining musicians all across the U.S. participating in the Taps Across America tradition.
Boy Scouts are also on hand for the Memorial Day ceremony at Maplewood Cemetery. The Just One Foundation, VFW Post 2087, the Boy Scouts of Bethel Church, and Greensboro Parks and Rec teamed up for the ceremony.
It's a day not just for the Triad, but for the country to remember the more than 1.3 million Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our freedom and our democracy.
Skylar Henry takes a look at Memorial Day observances in Washington and around the nation.
Present! Present! Oh!
President Biden presided over a solemn ceremony at the tomb of the unknown soldier as America honored the men and women who died while serving in the U.S. military.
Today, as a nation, we undertake a sacred ritual to reflect and remember.
At the World War II Memorial in Washington, veterans and family members gathered to remember more than 400,000 Americans who died in Europe and the Pacific.
It is vital that we remember the sacrifices made by the World War II generation, the opportunities they created for us to live in freedom.
Former service members also gathered here at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial to remember friends who didn't make it home. Tony Mustafa served as a sergeant in Vietnam.
I got people that's on the Vietnam Wall that was personal to me. We were 17, 18 years old there and everything, and I still remember the conversations that we had.
In Minnesota, where 200,000 flags pay tribute to fallen veterans at Fort Snelling National Cemetery, the governor reflected on the sacrifices they made for freedom.
The people who lie here literally stood in the face of tyranny, sometimes against odds that could not have been calculated. And they did it for people who they'll never know, never see.
Americans who gave their lives defending freedom. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Take a look at one memorial tribute this weekend, this Memorial Day. The USAA Poppy Wall of Honor is back up in Washington, D.C. The temporary display uses bright red poppies to honor American service members killed since World War I. It was first brought to D.C. in 2019 and returned this weekend for the first time since the pandemic hit.
Actually have my poppies on too today. Well, inflation and gas prices have impacted us all in some way, but it's really been a burden for an organization that delivers food to kids on the weekends. Hope of Winston-Salem stands for Help Our People Eat. The nonprofit distributes around 1,000 meals to kids and more than 2,500 pounds of fresh fruit and veggies for families each weekend. Executive Director Scott Best says they are a vital piece to a lot of people's lives, especially lately.
There's tens of thousands of children that go to school, depending on food that is provided there, and filling that gap on Saturdays and Sundays. It is a vital step to get something nutritious into the hands of a child.
Those meals are made up of turkey and cheese sandwiches, fruit, a healthy treat, and milk or bottled water. Best says the cost of milk is up 30% and meat has doubled in price. But what's really hurting them the most is gas. He says they're spending about 60% more on gas to deliver those meals compared to last year.
It's worrisome because it's a bit out of our control, the pricing for things we need to purchase. We've seen a drop in certain donations coupled with an increase in need.
Best says there are a lot of ways that you can help. They are accepting donations of sliced bread, bottled water, and gas gift cards. He says they're also always looking for volunteers.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. We are learning new details about the man arrested after a nearly 12-hour standoff in Reidsville Friday. The standoff started when officers tried to serve warrants and ended with his girlfriend and a 1-year-old making it out of the apartment safely. Police say the suspect was wanted for multiple charges in multiple counties, as well as South Carolina, and was taken into custody. We've now learned those charges include robbery, assault, and resisting an officer, just to name a few. The suspect remains behind bars at the Rockingham County Jail. There is another food illness outbreak making headlines. The FDA and other agencies are investigating a hepatitis A outbreak, possibly linked to organic strawberries. The berries were sold in several states in March and April at stores like Aldi, Kroger, Trader Joe's, and Walmart. The FDA reports 17 current Hep A cases linked to the berries, with 12 hospitalizations. So far, no cases have been reported in North Carolina. If you're unsure what brand you purchase or when, throw away your berries. You can find more details about the berries impacted on our website, WFMYnews2.com. As the busy Memorial Day travel weekend wraps up, drivers are paying more than ever to fill up at the gas station. The national average for a gallon of gas now sits at $4.62. In California, prices are the highest. A regular gallon of gas costs more than $6. Yeah. Experts say prices could continue to climb. An event like a bad hurricane could send prices above $5 a gallon. Traveling wasn't any easier if you were flying this weekend. Nearly 6,000 flights were canceled Memorial Day weekend. Some of the cancellations were due to weather, others due to staffing challenges.
Well, now let's get a check of our forecast. Monique, I'm curious, on a scale of 1 to 10, how sticky is it outside today?
It's actually not that sticky, and I'm grateful for this one little cloud who said during Monique's weather hit, I'm going to block the sun just for her. The cloud is giving me a break right now from the baking of the sun rays, but the heat, I mean, it's still there, and it's going to be sticking with us as we go over the next couple of days, and it's also going to be dry. This is a look back at the month of May at how much rain we got to see. That big rainmaker was just a week ago, where we had over 1.5 inches of rainfall reported in Greensboro. Elsewhere saw greater amounts like Reidsville and Burlington. But as we look across the map, we had abundant rainfall throughout the entire month. Well over 4 inches of rainfall just fell. But today things are drier and our radar looks pretty quiet. I zoom in closely. I saw this one little tiny blip of rain right around Summerfield, just north of it, and just north of Brentwood, and just east of Summerfield. Just a light shower here, but elsewhere things are dry, not much happening. And you can see, this is a look at the visible satellite, the white little spots that you're seeing. It kind of looks like popcorn popping up. These are the cumulus clouds that we're seeing in our skies right now. All of these white clouds are actually right here on a very small scale. So you can see it all across our area. We're dealing with the clouds, none of which are producing any showers really. We just saw that one blip of shower, but elsewhere, not really much happening. Now tonight, one thing I do want to keep in mind is the idea of patchy fog, especially between the hours of 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., especially along the southern counties. You see, visibility does decrease. So although skies will clear, we will deal with the patchy fog briefly, and then by the daytime, the sunshine returns once again. So talking about rain chances, the next chance for them Thursday afternoon, could see some storms accompanying them. And then as we go through the morning on Friday, those rain will stick with us, and then it will clear out by the end of the day Friday, and much drier on Saturday and on Sunday. So here's a look at your full 7-day, showing you the temperatures over the next 7 days.
The Memorial Day weekend means the start of pool season, but just like many businesses these days, some are still in need of employees, specifically lifeguards. WFMY News 2's Avery Powell tells us who's hiring.
Empty pools at Guilford County parks this Memorial Day weekend. A different picture at Wet n Wild Emerald Point Water Park in Greensboro.
We are fortunate that we are staffed, but we are hiring. It's an ongoing process because we know turnover is inevitable.
Guilford County says a lack of lifeguards has forced them to postpone the opening of pools at Burr Mill Park, Northeast Park, and Hagenstone Park. While there may have been lifeguard shortages in the past, the pandemic has reshaped how people think about work.
We, would usually get a plethora of applications, and we're not seeing that same level of applications coming in, or they're coming in at a slower pace.
And Wet n Wild says doing the job is much more than just sitting in the chair and getting a tan.
There's so much hard work that goes into becoming a lifeguard, and then the responsibility that they have of people's lives in their hands.
The water park trains and certifies all its applicants on site. Guilford County says they'd like applicants to already be certified, but may provide training to the right candidates.
We're fortunate in that we have a lot of lifeguards that do come back. You know, we start trying to recruit right away. October, November, our season ends in September, to keep in touch with them. So I think, you know, we're lucky.
Guilford County says it plans to open the pools on June 11th, but that may come with limited capacity and date restrictions depending on how many people they can hire. Greensboro pools are open except for Warnersville and Windsor, which are closed for mechanical concerns.
Pools are just one of the many places in the sun where families will spend their summer.
Whether it's the beach, an outdoor summer camp, or just time spent in the yard, making sure your skin is protected is vital. 2 Wants to Know Tanya Rivera breaks down the best sunscreen to use.
Rainy, gloomy, cloudy. We've seen a lot of those days lately, but very soon we're going to be seeing a whole lot of this. But let me give you a warning. Just 11 minutes out in the sun with no sunscreen can give you a sunburn. 2 Wants to Know takes a look at the top-rated sunscreens.
We test sunscreens to see how well they protect against 2 types of UV rays: UVA, which causes aging and skin cancer, and UVB, which causes sunburn.
Here's how it's done. Different sunscreens are applied to subjects' backs. Then they soak in a tub for 40 to 80 minutes, depending on the product's water resistance claim. The area is then exposed to simulated sunlight. The next day, trained experts examine the area for redness.
In our tests, we found several sunscreens that absorb quickly into skin and leave little to no residue on people of a variety of skin tones.
The top spray sunscreen, Alba Botanica Hawaiian Coconut Clear Spray, SPF 50, it's just under $10. Now don't miss this. The top-rated sunscreen lotion is from Walmart, Equate Ultra Lotion SPF 50, and it's just $5. It's a good thing the top-rated sunscreen is also affordable, because you got to use a whole lot more than what you think. The recommended application, 1 ounce. It fills up the palm of your hand.
Hi, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Sorry, I'm out of breath.
The Canes' Stanley Cup chances hang in the balance tonight. The New York Rangers forced a Game 7, picking up a win this weekend.
Luckily, the Canes have looked good at home during the NHL playoffs. WFMY News 2's Amanda Ferguson joins us now with a preview of tonight's Game 7 matchup in Raleigh.
The Carolina Hurricanes keep finding themselves here in Game 7s. It took 7 games to beat the Bruins in the first round, and now they'll look to beat the Rangers in 7. In the 4 second-round series matchups in the NHL playoffs, this is the only Game 7. It's a home game for the Canes, and you know what that means. The home team has won every game during the Canes postseason so far. Will that continue tonight while both teams are on the brink of elimination? Coach Rob Brittamore says he doesn't care about any of that.
At the end of the day, it's another game, and I think, there's a lot of hype around it. I think it's actually easier to play in the sense that because there's a finality to it. You know what I mean? We're not playing another one against it's it. So I think it's easier to come to the rink. It's easier to just say, look, we got to throw everything out there and let it all hang out because there's, like I say, it's over one way or another. So I think that it makes it actually easier to play.
Canes and Rangers hit the ice at 8 p.m. The winner advances to the Eastern Conference Finals and will face the Tampa Bay Lightning. We hope to take you to this game coming up on WFMY News 2 at 11. We'll be right back after this.
87, that's the current number in Burlington. That's what they're feeling. That sunshine still out, the flags waving, but the wind's still really calm. The dew points are in the 60s, but not the upper 60s. That's because we're on that fine line there of feeling uncomfortable with the stickiness and not so much. As we go over the next couple of days, that humidity is going to build in. So not only will it be hot, but it also will start to feel way humid as we walk out the door. So 64 tonight, wind staying light, and then tomorrow 90 degrees, mostly sunny and hot. Hot tomorrow and hot to follow on Wednesday, but staying dry for your Tuesday and your Wednesday. The rain chances don't return until Thursday and continuing through the day on Friday, and we could see some storms with that. This is due to a cold front approaching the area. High pressure is currently in place, but as it becomes weaker and kind of pulls away from us, no longer dominating the forecast, the next big chance of weather will all be due to this cold front that's going to be sweeping across much of the central portions of the U.S. and then bringing us more active weather as we end the work week. So here's your 7-day. We don't want to hold it too long for you. I want to give it to you so that you can take in all you need to know, especially as folks look ahead to next weekend and try to make plans. The big story is it's going to be less humid. It's going to be cooler, and the rain chances are going to be low. Just looking at the chance for the possibility of a late day pop-up shower or storm for your Saturday and Sunday. Very typical summertime weather.
Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial kickoff to summer, so I asked you on my Facebook page, what is your favorite summertime activity? Cheryl says the beach is definitely my go-to in summer. Kitty likes sitting in her glider outside reading. That sounds nice. For Joey, it's the beach or swimming pool. And Charlene, a shade tree and a glass of sweet tea. That sounds like a country song in the making. Alice says the beach. Jen writes, this summer it will be getting married. Congratulations, Jen. Nancy disagrees with everyone though and says she'll stay inside with the AC. She doesn't like summer. She's a winter person.
She likes to be frozen?
I guess so. She's one of the people that says, when's it gonna snow? Christian, Monique, Eric, Tim, when's it gonna snow? Ed, she's sending them emails all the time.
So what do you like to do in the summer?
I love the beach. So anytime I can go to the beach, I'm happy girl. But I love like snow cones and ice cream, like all the different treats, popsicles that you can have in summer.
I love the beach, of course, for a vacation, but I also like the simple things like just going for a nice brisk walk in the morning or in the evening because the sun, sets a little later, especially when there's a nice cool breeze. I like just doing that, seeing my neighbors walk past with the little puppies and stuff like that.
I know, it's so nice. Also, this is so weird. It's gonna sound weird, but I'm always so cold, so I love in the summer getting out into my car and it's like so hot and just sitting there and like thawing out.
Wait, what? So you like being in a stuffy car with it hot outside?
Yes, because I'm always so cold indoors anywhere I am.
We cannot drive together. We would never be able to live together because I do not like the heat.
No. I'm like sitting over here freezing. You're like, it's hot in here.
Yeah.
That's our life.
This is a true story. She's always cold.
Yeah, and you're usually pretty warm in the studio, so.
Yep.
Yeah, different strokes, different folks, right? Yeah. We'll be right back.
Assistant inspected by a professional at least twice a year. Georgia says failure to schedule routine cleans could lead to costly repairs.
They have a lot of bad severe
Duke Energy says you should set your thermostat to the highest comfortable setting. Each degree you go up can save you 5%.
They're trying to talk to you, Lauren.
Oh, hello? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I had my IFB out of my ear. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't realize that poppies were like a Memorial Day thing. I just wore this. Yeah.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Thank you.
Over the last.
Give me like a 5. So
This memorial you see behind me here in Jamestown was first built for those that give.
It is time for my 2 cents, and since it is Monday, I thought we'd talk about the Monday blues. It's a real thing, isn't it? You know, some people even start Sunday night dreading when they have to go back to the office. Well, I read an article on Forbes.com, and this was pretty cool. They were giving us ways that we can make our Mondays a little bit better. Now, a lot of this is prepping the week before, so you may not be able to salvage your Monday today, but think about this as you head into the next Monday. So they say the Friday attitude is a real thing. People are just happier, they're more energetic. In fact, in a lot of cases, they said some people are more willing to do more work on Fridays than they are on any other day. So what they said was to make Monday not so daunting, work ahead on your Friday, so Monday's a lot easier for you to slide into. I like that. Unplugging over the weekend, they said, is huge, because then if you're not so connected to the office, now some of us can or can't do that depending on your job, but if you can unplug, not check the emails, let it ride for a couple days, it just kind of separates it enough, gives you a chance to simmer down a little bit before Monday. This one I loved. Dress up on Mondays. Dress a little bit more than you normally would, more fancy. Wear the suits and the tie and the pocket square, the whole thing. Whatever it is for you that makes you feel happy, because that's happy, that's confidence, and it helps to face Monday with a different face than you normally do. And then here's the best one. Do something nice for a coworker. Science has proven, and psychologists say, when you do something nice for other people, it makes you feel good. So if you were to do that on Monday morning first thing, and when you come into the office, maybe give a coworker that